I'm going to show you my full cold email workflow in this video from beginning to end, exactly the tools I use and how I do things. So let's jump in. So the first thing we need is a domain. So I would buy my domain normally from GoDaddy, and you need a domain often because you want to not only, first you need a Gsuite, which I will go into in a minute, but you need a domain to send your emails from. So you don't want to send your email from phil@gmail.com. You want to send it from phil@kin.co. You want to send it from your email, from your domain, so it looks professional, because you're going to get much more reply rate. So you've got to get a good domain which represents your company. The next thing I would do is go to G Suite and get a business starter. So this will just help you send more emails. It creates a lot more trust, and also the workspace is just really great with Drive and all that kind of stuff. So you can do that, go to Google Workspace and just get the business starter. The next thing I would do is warm up this domain. You really need to warm up this domain. The problem we're having now is Google has released new policies which is messing up with all the warm up automation companies, but Woodpecker still has their own. I would normally use Woodpecker, but Woodpecker has this whole thing saying they can't do G Suite anymore, and no one's supposed to. Some companies are still doing that, but most don't. But I would always normally use Woodpecker, and I always use Woodpecker for my automation. I'll show you that in a minute, but they still work for Exchange and Office 365. So if you have one of these, you can go to Woodpecker and just use, as part of that automation, cold email automation, that you can get a free warm-up. I also have affiliate links, the link below. My affiliate link actually has, I think it's 15 days or is it 30 days, I forget, but it's more than the one they have on their website. So click on the affiliate link in my description. After that, once we have our email domain, we have everything warming up, we need to get prospects. We need to understand how to do that. And I would normally use Snovio, another affiliate link in the description below. All of the links are in the description below. Some have affiliates, some don't, but Snov is one of the best ways. I always have a bunch of videos of how I use Snovio, so you can check that out. I'll put a link in the description below for all the different videos I do that. Other tools are Hunter. Hunter's a really good way to get email addresses as well. And another way is Phantom Buster. So it depends how you're going to do it. So for example, with Phantom Buster, I can actually get emails from my first connections on LinkedIn. So you can start cold emailing them, for example. Or for example, there are other things you can be doing with Phantom Buster, which is just super cool. Like there are so many different phantoms and flows. I would just check them out and see if any of these work. You can scrape Facebook groups. I have a whole video on that as well. You can scrape so many different things with Phantom Buster. But if you're just trying to get emails from LinkedIn, Sales Navigator, or just LinkedIn, I would just use Snovio or Hunter, for example. So once you have those emails, you then have to use it in Google Sheets. So this is why I have G Suite. I use Google Workspace, which is, which has Google Sheets, which I put everything in, which is super useful. So yeah, I put it all in Google Sheets, and then I can upload that into the next part, which is I would authenticate every single email nowadays to make sure you build the trust and authority of your domain and make sure there's no bounce. So I use zero bounce, and they cost something like, for each month you probably will send half. So I'd probably send 1,000 to 2,000 a month, or close to 1,000. So we're talking about $10-12 a month to just authenticate. You don't have to do this, but I actually am doing this more and more, and I really recommend you use someone like Zero Bounce or another company completely, but just double check and authenticate if each email is actually good and you're not going to get a bounce on that. Once you have all this admin stuff out the way, you've got your domain, you've got your emails, you've got your leads, you're ready to start getting, sending out automated emails. I would use Woodpecker.co. Woodpecker.co is my favorite email automation tool. I really like it, mainly because it's just really simple to use. Like if you want to, I don't feel like some of these tools are just really complicated. Like for example, I used to use Lemlist, and I don't mind Lemlist. I think it's still good, but I find it just really bulky and hard to kind of understand, too many emojis and stuff. And there's a couple other tools I've been testing a lot of different tools. And I keep just coming back to the gold standard, in my opinion, which is Woodpecker. And the reason is because it's easy to use. It just does exactly what you need it to do. And so this is my tool of choice for sending cold emails. And you can be I send something like 50 cold emails a day through Woodpecker.co. And I love it because I literally just have my Google Sheet, I upload it, and then every day there's 50 emails coming out, 50 or 60 emails. Build this up slowly with the warm-up. But I love it because I'm not a consistent person, and this tool just lets me be very consistent. Once I've done all the setup and done everything, I can completely forget about it and just make sure I answer the replies that come in. And you can set up your cold email plus 3 or 4 follow-ups, 3 days, 5 days later, 3 weeks later, so you never have to think about it again. It's a great tool. So now you know my full workflow. Check out this next video on how to cold email.